think they're all started up now. Welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. Normally it's Tuesday. I normally wouldn't be doing one on Tuesday, but I did one earlier this morning, or this afternoon, to test a few things. And I got home from the band parent meeting, and I was looking over my tie, getting ready to put it up, and then I realized what I was doing wrong. A little bit ago, I got out my book and was checking a few things, and because it just wasn't feeling right, and so I as soon as I seen my note, I was like, duh. It was literally like, I wish I would have left out the book, like a sentence and a half or so. Just reminded me that 2 go on an edge for straight. I was only doing 1, and that was throwing everything off. It was starting to pull it way too tight. But as soon as I seen he use 2 for on edge for straight is kind of what the sentence said, and as soon as I seen that, it's like, oh yeah, duh. I was trying to put on my edging as if it was coming out as a triangle, like you would up here on your lower part. You can put them in a little differently when they're at an angle, and on a straight, I need to do them a little differently. And so I was like, yeah. So I took a few out and started coming back in. And I was like, well, why don't I just go ahead and do the live stream? So, I didn't even go set up this yet. So if I got messages, sorry. So I just figured, hey, well, why not? Before I put this up till next Monday, might as well just go ahead and do another stream tonight and kind of finish it up a little bit more. Because it was like, I want to work on something, and I was like, well, I could go ahead and go do the jelly cube. And I was like, well, I still got to put this up to do the jelly cube, so. Alright, finally, there's my Facebook. It's now open, and so I can see anything. Oh, John, hey there. Just ordered 1200 scales from parallel titanium and some Bracken stainless small size. For once weaving versus working during your stream. Yeah. Well, I'm a lot later than I normally would be, but I figured, what the hey. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put me in some more. I've got some large and small titanium scales. Not a whole lot, but there's a few things I wanted to kind of play and try. I need to make a big order of aluminum ones, that's for sure. Never seen scales, but homemade ones, yeah. I have fun working with them. That can be fun to play with. I remember I bought my first couple bags of them, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. And then figured it out finally, and so I started getting more and more and more. I've done quite a few things in scale now. Still want to do some bigger projects in them, but I'd like to do an inlay scale, but I know that's going to be insane on the size unless I go small, which I wouldn't mind going using the tiny scales. I wouldn't necessarily mind it, but I just know that it's going to be, that'll be a job. That is for sure. That will be a job. But, like I said, I wanted to kind of get a few more things caught up on this before I decided to put it up. I still had some stuff out, and it's like, I'd rather just kind of get it done, but I didn't want to work on it outside of a stream. And it's like, well, we'll just go ahead and do a stream tonight of it. Why not? I'm not doing nothing else other than putting it up and prepping for tomorrow, so I just figured might as well go ahead and do some now. I want them for small creatures. They're great Edmondson hat creatures. Yeah, I seen a couple pictures of your dream catchers earlier today. Yeah, they're fun to play with. I do like working with the scales. They're easy to put together, just more difficult to try to make something functional, I guess, if you want to call it that. But yeah, I've used them in making the ducks. You got the owls. You got well, I use them for my evil chanians, for their hair, I use tiny ones for that, and well, and I do those tiny turbine scale earrings. They work good for that. And I have done the big lamp. I used all the different color translucents that they had. And it came out really well. I liked it. And I was happy with its final presentation. It's just a matter of trying to find the right thing that'll work well with them. I've done a few lamps this way. Out of scales. Haven't really made any bodysuits type things out of them, but they're fun to play with. I'm kind of glad they kept around the extra large ones for a while. I like those too, just for certain things. Just because ties, I do the chain because they're cheaper, quicker to build. That's why I end up selling more of those than anything when it comes to the ties. But I wanted to get some so you can start showing some more detail and. But I'm going to be using a lot of them up here in the next few weeks, so I'm going to have to make another order here soon. And now they've gotten some more since I made my last big order of scales. They've added a lot to them, changed up some of the colors on some of them with the new shinier ones. They got the expensive shiny ones that are good. I've ordered some of those too. But then they have their normal ones are in the shiny realm now, so. Oh, come on, ring. If I can just get it to hold its spot. Just get through. You just want to be difficult, don't you? What's going fine? Who's meowing? You guys are fine right now. You don't need to go out. All you want to do is go try to chase another stray. That's one thing I will have to say about Boomer. He would keep the strays away for the most part, and they're starting to realize he's no longer here, so getting a lot more strays through the yard here the last few days, I've noticed. Yeah, speaking of the dream catchers there, I look back over and it's like I made my big sunburst one. I don't know if you've seen any pictures of it. That I ended up selling that one actually to somebody in England. Shipped it overseas. I just need to open that ring up further. That's the problem. It came out really well, but I've always been wanting to do a moon burst. Is what I planned on calling it. Kind of in the same vein, but using some different colors. With sunburst, you're using more gold, red, orange, and the moonburst, I want to go with more of a purple, black. That's why I got some of those new midnight colors. I think they're going to look pretty good in there, mixed in. So that's going to be my next Dreamcatcher style thing I want to do at some point. It will be a medium project night thing when I get to it. I thought about doing it before I did the ties, but I was like, no, I need to get the ties done because they're coming up with the events getting ready to start back up. So, and the mini picks, yeah, I think I might have that one in there. I need to change that up. I planned on changing those up from time to time. I've got a couple folders created to show them, but I just haven't moved them over yet. I need to reprogram the program a bit, and so I can have different view, or different. I planned on making up 4 different ones, and I kind of flipped between them through the week, so that they're kind of different. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to go let the cat out. Yeah, warm colors versus cool colors. Yeah, I've got well, I've made up some earrings. I called them Fire is one set, and Ice was the other set. People seem to like them as a set, depending on their mood. And what was the other one? Oh, it was Fire and Ice. I did with the some of the Bracken Mails coasters, the shield coasters. I made those. I made a set that was fire and one that was ice. Actually, it was just 2 of each, so that, you know. Alright, you're just gonna make me go that way, aren't you? The ring just keeps wanting to flop around on me. All I have to say about this too is I have a lot easier time working on the left hand side of things than the right hand side of things. Probably just because of the way I weave. Yin style. The 2 combo would be cool. Yeah. I thought about that, doing some type of yin yang thing a while back, and my brain wasn't comprehending it at the time, and so then I kind of gave up on it. But that was, 4 or 5 years ago, so I've learned a lot in that time. I mean, I'm always learning something, it seems like. I don't think anybody can ever be 100%, into chainmail. There's always things to be learnt. Yeah. I'm good at speaking. I'm a good speaker. Well, I went to the band parent meeting tonight too. It wasn't there back in our day when we marched, but we had a band field about behind the school. It wasn't big enough to be a football field, but it was wide enough that we could do band practice on it. And then, after about 10 years of graduating, 15 years, they changed it and made it into a softball field, and the band just used the regular football field. And they put up a tower on the football field out there at the 50. Well, actually, whoever put it in actually put it in on the 40 by accident, I guess. So they didn't realize it till they were done, that it wasn't on the 50-yard line like it was supposed to be. But it had been there for years and years and years, and they're putting in the new stadium stuff this summer, and started months ago, I guess. But I showed up today and driving through the parking lot, and the first thing I noticed was the tower was going over there. The Tower of Death. It was weird. I've used it a ton in the last 12, 15 years that I've kind of been helping back out with the band, and yeah, the Tower of Death, it was a crazy thing to get up in the top of it, and if you come out of there without a scratch, that was a good day. I don't know how many times I hit my head, scratching an arm, because it was such a pain in the butt getting up in that tower. But it was very weird to see it gone tonight. It was about the same as when I went in the band room for the first time after they got rid of they used to have, I guess it might have been with the times, but in our band room then they had it was stepped. They had kind of a podium, and it went down a couple feet, and then there was a flatter area, then a little step up, a flat area, step up, flat area. And I kind of, that's what we all got used to as band kids, and so it was about 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, they came in and flattened it all out. Filled in all the lower halves, and it works better. I can see why, because it's a band room that's also shared with the orchestra, and I'm sure it was probably kind of a pain for the orchestra, getting all their string instruments up through all that and everything, but as a band kid it was like, oh, I don't want to see it go. But overall, it was just more strange when it ended up happening, when they got rid of it totally and went in there for the first time with new carpet and being all level. I don't know how many kids I'd seen through the years trip up those things. I've tripped up them myself too, so I'm sitting here talking and losing concentration on where I'm at. So that's the only other bad thing about streaming. Trying to chat with people while you're working on stuff. Come on, ring. Maybe this is what... Yeah, that's what I was doing earlier. I should be doing that ring last. But I already had it in there from the other set. Alright, we'll go through this way then. But then I have a harder problem with the upper ring. This one doesn't want to come on. It wants to lift it off. And then I dropped the wrong one. There, jeez. It's been a long day. 7-year term player, 5-year jazz. Yeah. Yeah, I started playing when I was in 3rd grade. Played up until I graduated high school. Was going to go to college, but kid came, and I had to make a decision: go to school or support the family. And at the time, it was more important to support the family. So, in a way, that's the only regret I've really ever had. There might be other little things here and there that you're like, that was stupid, but But I wouldn't change it because, I got my kids now and grandkids, so I wouldn't want to change a thing. Other than I wish I was a band director. That's why I just enjoy going back and helping out and doing what I can for them. I was clarinet. Yeah. One of the geeky boys. By the time I graduated, I could play, I don't even remember, probably a good 10, 12 instruments. Some better than others. Some I could just make noise. Some I couldn't play at all. Alrighty. It looks much better than it did earlier. Where's my center ring? There it is. Why are you not going back under where you need to go, dude? There you go. And once I get the other side too. Yeah, I've seen that actually happen quite a bit through the years. My freshman year in high school band was the first year for that director, who was my favorite teacher ever. Still is. Still talk to her. But there was a lot of the upperclassmen that were so used to the other director, and then since then, through the years, all the helping out, I've been through several directors here and there at Tonka, and then just dealing with a lot of them when you're going to a lot of state competitions and stuff, with my own kids, and chatting with them there and all that, and it can definitely, even with good teachers coming in, it still kills because they were just so used to what they had, before my teacher came over. She ended up being the assistant for a few years, so that kind of helped on moving over, but I've seen some come, they just come in and it was like the band just went to crap. I'll have to say that happened after my old teacher left finally. What was it, 2011, I think, is when she retired. I was hoping for good things with the new director, but yeah, within, it was just months, you could already see a big difference in it, and a change in attitudes. And then actually he stuck around. How long was he there? About 4.5 years. I was actually running on my last year of helping out. I was like, he was hard to deal with. Kind of was bumming me out. I hate to say that, but then he did some stupid stuff and got in trouble and just kind of disappeared. So I was like, I didn't want to leave him hanging because I had, a lot of the parents and the assistant director. Well, he wasn't. He was the director over the district's music program. I've known him for years too. I was kind of the only person that had all the information where he could get out information to parents and stuff about what was going on, so I didn't want to leave him hanging, so I ended up still sticking around and helping out. And then he ended up retiring too. And then we got another one that was bringing back. She was there for 3 years. She was bringing things back. I could see things slowly coming back to being the band that we used to be. It was just, taking a while. Kids be kids, and they use a block schedule here. I don't know if you've ever heard of a block schedule, but it drives me nuts. I hate block scheduling. But it was basically there would be some times where you'd only have band twice a week if you're lucky, and then no extra practicing or anything outside of school hours. Just couldn't really get a lot accomplished. Back in our days, we had 7 a.m.s. We showed up at 7 before school started, and we'd get practice in then. Then we had band class first hour, so basically it was about 2.5-ish hours a day every morning of band. And then we always had Thursday night practices, and then a lot of the practices with the new directors and stuff kind of got, they either came from a school where they had band every day and stuff, so it was a little unusual, and it just took them a while to start realizing, not having very much in the practice time definitely is detrimental. You can look at all the schools in our general area and look at their records at competitions and stuff, and you can find the schools that have band every day, aren't on a block schedule, are much better bands. Just because they have band every day. There were some times during the winter, during our an hour school practice, marching band practice, then pre-my jazz. Yeah, we didn't have a jazz band when we were in there. We had what they called a GBB band, Golden Variety Band, that played at basketball games and stuff. And it was it was more of a pep band, not really a jazz band. It was some point in the early 2000s, I think they finally started having an actual jazz band class, and I was like, man, that would have really rocked if they would have had that back in our day. But I mean, we were talking days where, you were lucky if your school had a computer. I think when I graduated, they had started just having computer classes. We had one computer lab at that point in time that had roughly 16 Apple IIe's in it. that gives you my age there. It was, and then it was a few years later they started bringing the IBM PCs into it, and started growing. And now it's just crazy because every student has a laptop. Drove me nuts when they had to get those, all the paperwork you had to sign and everything like that. I mean, in a way, I think computers can help, but I think they also make us stupider. We rely on them so much, and kind of like a smartphone, you can't really remember things. I mean, I used to be able to rattle off phone numbers when I was a kid like nothing else, Up until I got a smartphone. If I needed a phone number, if it didn't have it in my head, no idea what it was. And now people ask me my own phone number. I'm like, let me look in my phone, call myself at home to find out my phone number anymore. That's what's crazy. Alright, Buzz, you need to go out. Let me go open the door real quick. He's over there going nuts. Ready to go out? I had to keep them in because there's a stray cat running around out there, but they're just now going cuckoo. They're like, let me out, let me out, let me out. Alright, so that's pretty much all of that one. I'll wait till I get down and get the other side done before I add that one in, but you can definitely see putting the edging on helps. I mean, I could tuck these under to make them look like that, but once you put that edging on, it makes them hold much nicer. Especially when you get both sides of it. Kind of pulls it a little tighter together that way, but it just works so much better. Let's see here. Alright, so PC class, I was stuck. Yeah, you're gonna learn some stuff and press them classes in. Yeah. Yeah, we actually had typing classes that we had to take in middle school. It was an option when you got into high school, but when I was in middle school, we actually had, I think, 3 Apple IIes at that point in time in middle school, and each class, basically 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, they all had one computer for their whole thing, and each teacher had to have it at certain times and check it out. And none of the kids were allowed to touch those. When I got into high school, they finally started letting us touch them. But again, the first classes, I took one computer programming class that was actually pretty good, where we actually learned to code. But all the other ones was learn how to use, which probably would have been a good thing in a way, how to use like Excel style type things, which I still don't have a clue on how to set up cells and all that. If I ever have something like that needs to be done, I holler at the wife, say, hey, make this for me. Because I could never quite figure out that in that class. I think I ended up dropping it because I needed to get another home ec class in. So I ended up dropping it and taking the home ec class instead. The floppy disk is I played floppy Atari games. Old Windows, just on screen, yeah. Oh yeah. Now I remember the first PC we got at home. I was, I guess I would have been 13 or 14 when Radio Shack came out with their, well, we called it the Trash 80, but the TRS 80. Oh, we had all the bells and whistles for that stupid thing. Oh God, how I hated that thing. I mean, we had fun with it, but it was so stupid to call it a computer after you kind of got the idea of what a computer was supposed to be. I mean, that was before mainline PCs were coming out, too. I mean, it was supposed to be the equivalent to an Apple IIe, but I remember having... I mean, that's where I actually first started to learn how to code. We bought a book with that and was coding with that, and that's what I wanted to kind of do in school. But then we got that thing, and it used an old tape deck as its floppy disk, basically. I put that ring in there wrong, yeah. If you want to load up a program and stuff, you had special tapes that didn't have an intro, and they were only about 5 minutes worth of tape in them. But I mean, when ours first, we had one that came with the Trash 80 that was made for it, and come to realize you could use any play box, any type of CD, or not CD, tape desk, tape cassette, long as you had an audio out, because that's what it used to transfer over what it needed to know. And so then we started, once that one broke, we ended up using those for quite a while. But yeah, that was one of the craziest computers I remember ever playing with. I mean, it still had its funness. We had one of the talking cartridges at the time, which was, you know, back then it was very expensive for what it was. I mean, nowadays you can make anything talk with free programs that are out there. Alright. I'll get through there. It's kind of crazy how far along we've come. I mean, I know once I got out and graduated and had some kids, I mean, PCs were, you know, the 286 style, nothing grandiose, and "You've got mail," AOL disc type things with it. Never really had one of those for years. Just didn't have the money with the kids, and it wasn't until quite a few years later after graduated and finally got one. And it would basically do, it was all dial up then, so I mean, I guess I wasn't super old, but now I make my own. Whenever I need a new computer, I'll just make my own, so. Come on, get out of there. I guess you're opened already. Yeah, I think the last 4 PCs I've ended up making myself. They were just easier that way. Plus, get more what I wanted in them. I guess the first new one we bought would have probably been about 16 years ago when we bought the house. Got my first Dell. And it was okay, but it had all kinds of weird issues, and after that I ended up pulling it apart to make another one, a hybrid system. And then since then I've just kind of built my own. Still nothing of the super fancy, but it does the job better than most. I mean, I got 2 graphics cards in it to help with video processing and whatnot, but my laptops all suck. Oh, where are we at here? We're only half an hour in. Cool. Well, like I said, I'm not sure how long I'll go tonight. I just was figuring I wanted to get the edging finished on this, but I didn't want to do outside the stream. It was either that or just go ahead and put it all up. And I was like, let me just go ahead and throw another stream on for tonight. Have a little fun. Alright. Oh boy. And you can look under. And I didn't open far enough. Come on, flip back the way you're supposed to be. But, yeah, other than that, not a whole lot going on today. And like I said, spent some time working on the computer to get, for some reason, last night's stream was just horrid. I think it might have been a mix between system and just the internet itself. At least that's what I'm thinking. What did I do there? Oh, I was on the totally wrong one there. I need to be on the next one below. Yeah, that's why it was fighting me, saying, no, I don't want to go there. Better. or 6 computers in my house. Yeah. Now mine's I got a i7. Is it a 6700 processor? I've got like I think 24 gigs of RAM in it. The two graphics cards. It's basically the main system. We've got I've got 2 other laptops down here that I use at different times for different things. One for the laser. We got a couple other PCs. I think they're i3s. Nothing special about them, but they do the job for the kids, even though most of them don't use them anymore. I think the youngest, she bought her own laptop, and the boy's got one in his room, but he spends most time on the PS4, so it doesn't get much use. He'll play it on occasion when he feels like playing some Command & Conquer or something like that. I got him hooked on that years and years and years and years ago. Yeah, I'm kind of glad all my kids were kind of all out of school when that all finally came to fruition. The youngest one, she's doing college work, but light college work, and obviously from home because of this. So I mean, she's dealing with it a bit, but we didn't have to deal with it in normal school, which probably would have sucked. I can't imagine what these kids have had to go through dealing with all this crap all the time. Oh, dang it, did it wrong again. All the stuff they have to go through. I'm kind of glad we were out of school by then. Did make a good chance, though, to get other things learnt. You know. I think it definitely did change a lot of things for the future, just, you know, the way things worked, and had to make major changes. It'll be weird to see how we continue, what parts we'll end up still using. You know, there was always for years and years and years there was talk about, you know, the video phone, and it could never take off. All it took was a pandemic for it to take off, right? Because now everybody does Zooms, and now the oldest bought one of those, I don't even know what it's called, picture box things that you can call and video chat. Which we've had some cool things with the grandkids to do that when we were all stuck at home, but I was just playing AOE2 expansion. Why does that sound familiar? Age of Empire, that's right. I played a little bit of that. I couldn't quite get into it, though. It was good when I first started on one of them, and then they updated to another version. I don't remember where it was that it made a big change, and I just didn't care for it. About the same thing happened with Command & Conquer. They got to, I think it was Renegade. I don't know if that was like the 8th or the 9th version, and it got weird. And I tried one after that, and I didn't like it as much, and so that was it. I need a red one for this one. It's like AOE2. I know what that is, I just couldn't think of it for half a second. Like I said, I don't remember which version it was that I did play quite a bit of. But then the next version that came out just turned me off, and then I kind of stopped playing a lot of video games there for a while. Really don't play a whole lot anymore. Mostly just some... I do like the racing sim type games. Hadn't had a whole lot of chance to really do that lately either, just because, you know, actually, once I got the Chiefs flag order, I kind of didn't have much time to do it, plus I had broke my pedals, so I had to wait for that to get fixed, and they finally got fixed about the time I got done with the flag, but by then I was so much into doing the streams here, it's like I just don't have much time. I'm constantly mailing right now, so, which, you know, I don't mind. I love doing my mail too, so. And gold one here. I'm gonna grab my drink real quick. 2 and 3 changed it more like risk turned base versus real time. Maybe that's what it was. I know there was a change at some point between them, and I just could not get back into it. I tried to give it a chance, but I just could not. Didn't seem like I could just wasn't as fun anymore. And like I said, same thing happened with Command and Conquer. I used to enjoy the crap out of it, and that's when it was actually run by Westwood Studios, and then it got taken over by EA, and that's when things started going awry. The first few installments were okay, but then it got to a point I just didn't really care for it. I was like, and now I'll still go back and play some of the old, like Red Alert 2, and I actually do on occasion. I actually haven't tried on this new system, the first original. I used to install it and everything, but I don't know if I could install it right now unless I use some type of emulator. I don't think it'd install on Windows 7. I had a few programs like that because I still like my old Tycoon type games. Railroad Tycoon. I love that game. Up again till I think it was first one I liked, and they had a gold edition that was pretty good, and then I think it was 2. Railroad Tycoon 2 was good, and then 3 came out, and it just changed up so much that again I didn't care for it. So when it comes to games, it just seems like I'd have a better shot at liking things if I just end up going with racing games. Can't really, I mean, you can change them to a degree, I guess, but nothing like you can some of these others were just, and not a whole lot of them, really. And mostly it's been Gran Turismo. I've always liked it for years and years and years. Other than that, I'll play some golf, racing, and football. That's about it. About the only games I'll play anymore. Come on, get back in there. Wondering. No, I hope somebody might have shown it back up, or I'm not sure if I see there. Had a few extra come in last night, which was a surprise, but I was having such a crappy stream, I had to restart it, and then I lost everybody. I was like, ugh, that blows. Yeah. Yeah, I did play some of it. It was okay. It was one of the middle ground games that I could play. It didn't totally tick me off. It just kind of got... It seemed like the further you got into it, trying to go through your missions and stuff, I mean, everything should take longer and become harder, and I get all that, but it was just a little too much, I thought. And again, I think the last one I played of it was Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. So, it had been a little while. I need to put a single. What was that other one I used to play quite a bit? It was some type of pyramid game. Civilization. I think, again, I stopped at 2. 3 got a little weird again. That one I haven't been able to get to emulate back on the computer because I still have it, and I have tried before, but I haven't tried any time recently. But it was another one that I had fun with. Civilization and Civilization 2. Oh no, it popped up on me. I can't see anything. Come on, mouse, wake up. I hate it when that firewall software wants to pop up in front of you. Turn-based for heroes of might, magic gold. Yeah, that is kind of true too. It had some things that I didn't care for in it. What was... I guess it was probably midway through the missions is when it kind of started getting a little weirder that I didn't really care for. Once you started getting further into the civilization than they were supposed to be growing. And turn base now is definitely kind of not been what I've been into. Uh, you know, mostly any games I play on the computer side of things, normally just those quick, stupid line 3 up in a row thing, just, just to pass 5 minutes of non-brain thinking. I'll plop that in and just play a couple minutes of it and a couple rounds and move on, but something just to have the brain stop thinking for a few. Let's go ahead and give this a flip over too once we're done here, and we can see it together on both sides, other than a little bit at the bottom, so you can see what the edging does. Definitely brings it together more. Keeps everything all tidy instead of going all wacky. And this is without the edging still, how they kind of flop around. Once you get that, was that the last one? Yeah, that was the last one I had on edging on that side, so it looks pretty decent. I didn't know how the stripes were going to come out and putting so many in, but like cross out, build tanks, blow up each other, build 5-minute matches, yeah, things like that. Now there was some, where am I at here? 16 without the top part. So I think that's, I did pull out my large scale one though, didn't I? Let me check real quick. Yeah. Or my extra large scale tie. That's the extra large scales compared to the small or large scales. You can tell a pretty big difference there. What are we at in lengthwise compared to it? Yeah, it's actually just a bit shorter. I might end up having to come in and put one more row on that. But then this will be the top area. Actually, it's a little different. This was the first one I did, and after that I started bringing it more at angles like this. So this was the first one I had done. I forgot that was the first extra large scale tie I made. I thought I'd already sold that one, actually. I guess it was the colored ones. I had one, and then I had a couple custom orders, and what was the character? What's his name from Batman? Purple and green. Why am I having such a brain fade? I had a couple of those in the extra large that I done, and they were customs. Yeah, I think I'm going to add one more to that, and then that'll give me a good 3. I started with 3, 3, 3. If I go down and add a third to this, would probably be the best thing to do. Match it up anyway. Yeah. So I need to come down here. Add one more there. Yeah, we'll do that after I get done with this edging on this side. Joker, yeah. Duh. Like I said, some days, but when my brain just cannot properly function in some aspects of things. I was like, I know I've watched it enough. I should know the name. Well, and at the same time, I had some Harley Quinn red and black stuff that I did. At the time, they were into that then, so they wanted some custom stuff done. We'll go ahead and get this tied down over here, and then we'll add on that one extra row there on the bottom and call it good. They're enough to finish off make it look like there's 3 rows there, because right now it's just going with the 2. And then a red. Yeah, I'm starting to get some of these rings taken up too. That was part of the other thing. I had so many rings out. I was like, I want to use up some of these. I don't want to put them all back. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do the stream. Work on it some more. At least get the sides tidied up and pulled down. That was the main idea. So, plus the stream actually been going good. I've had been at 0% on my drop frame rates since I started, which I don't think I've actually ever had. So, much better than losing, 10% of them, if not more, like I was last night. That was just crazy. I don't know what the deal was. What's wrong there? Nothing. Just my brain. That's all that's wrong is my brain stem is not properly affixed to working tonight. Though I am kind of tired. I got up a little late, but couldn't sleep worth a crap, and I ended up going to bed super late last night. It was insane when I looked at the clock going, what? How did it get to that time? All I was doing stuff on the computer. And gold. But then was pretty busy ever since I've gotten up. Son did a lot of mowing to help out today, which was nice, but we had to do it in little chunklets because of the rain that kept moving in. We get ready and head out, and next thing you know, here's another rain spout. Come on. And then we still got the back third of the yard that's just too wet. So much water that, I did see some memes floating around there. Memes, yes, memes. I gotta try to say the proper word for the masses, even though I still like to call them memes. They're memes in my head forever. That's how it's spelt. That's how it looks. They're memes. Drive the kids nuts with that one. But yeah, some local friends, they've been posting. It's raining, but you still got to mow, and you got this picture of somebody pushing or riding on a mower, and 3 feet of water. And that's about what it's like. It's like the grass keeps growing, but in a way, I guess it's a good thing that our rider's not properly working right now, because we got to push mow it, which takes away from, sinking. And the person in the mower's a lot lighter than the rider lawnmower with a person. Still need to figure out what's up with that. I'm hoping I can get it fixed somewhat easily. Hate to go try to get it fixed. Last few times we've done that with mowers, it's like, yeah, I'm getting about 2-3 more times out of it, but then the same thing keeps happening again after I just spent $100 to get it fixed. So, been driving me bonkers. Alright, so let's go ahead and flip you back up here and see where we're evened and not evened. So this is the point. And we need to bring in, we want to put 3 on this row. So we just add 2 silvers in. And I'm definitely going to have to make up some more 5/16, 16 gauge rings. I'm running pretty low. Well, probably enough to finish up this, but won't be able to do any more with at least just the bright silver. I think I got some still left in anodized clear that I could use if I absolutely needed to, but I try to save those just for the jewelry stuff. I like to use those for that instead. So mine, I'll use them for things like this, structural type things, dream catchers, things like that. They work great for that. I mean, they could make fine jewelry. I have made jewelry out of them. They just get dull compared to having anodized cleared ones. You know, you don't have that issue with those. So yeah, we'll do 2 silvers there. Silver. Repair, should have gotten a new one. Yeah, we got it used actually. Well, the push mower, the push mower has been the worst thing of them all. It was doing all fine till one season, probably about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. We hit son was doing something. What did he end up? It wasn't a stump because we don't have too many stumps. Ended up hitting something and just knocked everything out of kilter. Got it looked at, got it back to running, and then it just started having a harder time to start. So I had it looked at again, and then it was shortly after that it ended up seizing up on us. So then we got a used one. Again, it worked for about half the season. Then it started having issues. Had it looked at, fixed again. Got about 3 or 4 more mowings out of it. And I finally was like, screw it. You know, I've never had good luck when it comes to gas engine powered stuff. You give me electric, I'm good with that. Since my RC racing days, I used to race electric, so I can figure out electric, but gas powered stuff has always been my nemesis. I even tried to race RC cars that were gas powered, and I just no luck whatsoever with them at all. It was fun being able to run longer than you can with a battery, because you just bring it into the pits, fill it up while it's still running, and off you go. Unlike a battery powered one, but you know. And now the rider, we bought it used, and it worked great. We had it for, I mean, this would be its 5th season now. And really haven't done a whole lot to it, so it could just be something minor. I got a whole kit that I got to give it a whole maintenance thing, overhaul, some belts, etc. So hopefully that'll do it, I'm hoping. If not, trying to talk the wife into getting a new one. I would in a way, just because, I mean, we bought it used, but it actually, when I was looking it up and finding out everything, it was manufactured in 2001, so it's about 20 years old. And you know, it was a friend of mine's parents who had sold their house and moving in a smaller place, didn't need it. They had actually 2 riders. They had a newer one and then this older one. And the older one, you know, through the years, he had found little tricks and things to do to help it work better. So I ended up going with that one. Hell, it was only, he sold it to me for like $150, so I can't complain. It was a nice, cheap rider, and it's been working for years and doing a good job, so I can't complain too much about it. 16G stainless in my piece, cool. Yeah, but I've only done one actual dream catcher in stainless steel. I was worried about it being too heavy, and ended up not being heavy. I should have known better, but again, that's why I go with a lot of the anodized aluminum in them, just so I can make them colorful. I like the look of just straight stainless steel. It's kind of like when I did a lot of woodworking. You know, I like the look of just straight oak. You give me a nice white oak with no stain on it and put a finish on, I love the look of that. Most people don't. They want it that honey brown color type thing. And that's just not something that I cared for, but, you know. But I like stainless steel look by itself on almost anything, even just a plain bracelet. I like the look of stainless steel, but, you know, a lot of people like to have the color and the bling, so. And there's still a lot of people that like the other stuff too. It's just it is more expensive. I'll make it if somebody wants it, you know. That's why I always offer everything I pretty much make. I can make it any metal you want, so. I would like to do it in, you know, gold for you. Yeah, like that's going to go over well. But I have had I've had several stainless steel orders, so it all has worked out. I haven't gotten no by gold yet. I've gotten several silver pieces, but one day. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on over here, and then we'll probably go ahead and close her up for tonight. Running up on an hour, I think. Yeah, pretty close. Yeah, I'd seen some people doing that. Who was doing that once? What was it? Joshua Delberto? He was. I think it might have been him. He was talking about it once and showing some pictures of it. But to make up a whole lot that look alike, I mean, they don't have to be exactly the same. I mean, you get that with titanium. You know, they're not all going to be perfectly exactly the same. But that's definitely a technique to learn. Just to know how long, how hot, what it should look like to cool down to be this color type thing. Well, actually, I don't have. Well, I guess I can grab another red one out. Looks like I got all my reds used up. Thought it was perfect, but now I need one more. We'll go ahead and get in this last side piece, get it done, and then we'll probably go ahead and close the stream for tonight. And then Monday we can finish putting on the last few bottom parts here, and then we'll start working on the neck part of it. And I'll definitely be putting it up and not giving it any more play time till Monday. I'll start getting set up for tomorrow night's stream for small project night. I want to get the inlay out, but I need to wait till after tomorrow. I'll get it out and I'll spend all day working on it and forget. So, yeah, that's where I am on that side too, right? Yeah. So it's evened out. I'll go ahead and give it a flip over. Looking good. I actually kind of like that. It's not overly bright with the gold. I was afraid the silver might be too silvery, but it worked out pretty good, I think. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I screwed up right there, totally. Oh no. How did I do that? That's why I was off on my length, and it seemed like I wanted to go longer, because everything should have been shifted down one. Yeah, oh boy. I can't believe I did that. That's why things were off at the bottom. I was like, it doesn't seem long as it should be. And then I wanted to add another row, and it's all because of what would have already had that row. If I would have completed and started my red down. Well, well, well. Looks like I'll have some fun Monday night, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'll work on that Monday morning before we go into the stream Monday night. I can't believe I did that. And it took me that long to notice, really. That's the bigger problem. Shouldn't have taken me that long to figure that out. I didn't even see it on the video so easily, too. Huh. Yeah, I don't know how I totally missed that, so I'll definitely have to get that all fixed up. Try to get it done before the stream, but if not, we'll do it during the stream. I hate to take it apart during the stream, but it is what it is. But I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and close up shop for tonight. And this is our third stream in 2 days. Should only be doing one tomorrow. I guess I could do more. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow night. What time is it anyway? 11:30 already. Wow. I'll be back tomorrow night at 7:30 Central Time. Whatever that might be worked out for you. But thanks for joining if you joined in. Thanks for chatting with me, John. I know I missed some things here and there, but when I get busy and screw up my piece here, I didn't even look over here to see. I didn't get any no messages on those two. I guess that's a good thing. But we did get at least an hour in. Got some of it fixed up, and now I need to go fix another screw up. But we'll be back tomorrow night with a small project night. I'm still debating on between the two bracelets I picked out for this week. One will be my main one. If it doesn't work, we go to the backup. So hopefully we don't have an issue, but I hope you'll join us tomorrow night. If not, check out our post, and you can watch our videos at any point in time you like. But y'all have a good night, and see you later.